conduct of the British in the Boer War under that title, as the writer had claimed, pride has made them believe themselves perfect. Prejudice against things foreign has so isolated their army that it is now actually antiquated and worthy of the days of George III. In the spring of 2007, it turned up in a headline about the birth of a child to the American Vice President's lesbian daughter Mary. Quote, "Pride and Prejudice, Dick Cheney's Family Values," unquote. If Pride and Prejudice is the representative Austen title, its opening sentence is one of the most frequently abused quotes in the language, second only to be or not to be. Marjorie Garber has called it a cultural bromide and cited its forced use in articles on subjects as diverse as grape allergies, opera stars, and restaurant services, as well as pieces about Austen and her books, of course. The mathematical neatness of the sentence lends itself to appropriation. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a blank, in possession of a blank, must be in want of a blank. Almost every day of the week you'll find it in a paper or on a website somewhere. It is a truth universally acknowledged that an unemployed believer in possession of a missile launcher must be in want of a jihad. Or, it is a truth universally acknowledged that the acquisition and enhancement of literacy skills is a fundamental educational goal. Austen's success as an infinitely exploitable global brand or conceptual product has everything to do with recognition and little to do with reading. The Victorian novelist Margaret Oliphant understood this at the very dawn of Jainism. "The best judges have here for once done the office of an academy," she wrote in March 1870, suspicious of the fuss around the first biography. "They have laureated a writer whom the populace would not have been likely to laureate, but whom it has learned to recognize." The universality of applause that Austen had already excited seemed to Oliphant half real, half fictitious, the result of wishful thinking on the part of readers, and exploitation by what Henry James later identified as book-selling spirits and the stiff breeze of the commercial. If this was true in 1870, how much more so is it today, when Austen's name bears such a weight of signification as to mean almost nothing at all? To many people, Pride and Prejudice, and even Jane Austen, simply evoke the actor Colin Firth in a wet shirt, and for all her consistent topping of Nation's favourite list, in 2007 Pride and Prejudice was voted the book the United Kingdom can't do without, the Bible was sixth. Austen's texts remain unfamiliar to many readers. In 2007, the director of the Jane Austen Festival in Bath, an unpublished novelist, tested the alertness of 18 contemporary British publishers by sending them the first chapters of Pride and Prejudice, with proper nouns slightly adjusted, under the title First Impressions by Alison Lady. It was rejected by all of them, but more surprisingly, only one editor seems to have recognized the manuscript's origins and the presence of a hoax. But unlike many candidates for global celebrity, Austen is a genuinely great artist as well as a popular one, an example of high culture in its least challenging form, at once formidable and non-threatening, as the critic Claudia Johnson has said. Her monoplot, once described as boy meets girl, girl gets boy, fulfills every requirement of romance and erotic fantasy literature, but also contains matter for a lifetime's rumination on relations between the sexes. Her clear prose style is extraordinarily accessible, while her irony allows illimitable interpretation. Austen's appeal has been powerful enough to threaten the jurisdiction of critics, and certainly of literary critics. She is one of few writers who inspire personal love and strong feelings of proprietorship. Virginia Woolf observed that Austen's characters are so rounded and substantial that readers treat them as if they were living people. While more recently, Austen's biographer Claire Tomalin has remarked how many readers feel strongly that she is their personal property, not to be tampered with or subjected to questions and theories. The web-connected world allows full indulgence of readers' identification with the author and her works. There are hundreds of Austen blogs and sites, including Austen Addicts, Lost in Austen, Austen Prose, quote, a daily celebration of the brilliance of Jane Austen's writing, and the Republic of Pemberley, a heavily ironized zone that promises rather unnecessarily to be your haven.